Guys, you can hear me? Hey, welcome to this theater session on a Channel Integration Framework version 2. This is how you bring third-party channels into Dynamics 365, multi-session experiences. How many of you have seen the multi-session experiences that we have recently built? Great. How many of you are familiar with Channel Integration Framework itself? Very less. Okay. What was Channel Integration Framework? So for us to go ahead and build the contact center or connection with the customer, we required an immersive experience inside Dynamics 365. So for the version 1, we went ahead and did this. We provided a framework, a set of APIs, protocols, and methods using which you can take a soft phone which has been built and is hosted on a third-party cloud and then embed it inside Dynamics 365 agent experience. So you take something like CSH, Customer Service Hub or Sales Hub, and you can go ahead and embed that third-party widget inside that so that you have both communication experience and the CRM transactional experience in the same agent window. And it allowed you bring your own channel providers. It was, of course, very low TCO because it was all cloud-based. You go ahead and have something hosted on Azure, and you go ahead and plug it back into Dynamics 365. And when you change the code inside CRM side, the provider widget was not impacted. And if you made a change in the provider widget, the CRM was not impacted. So that's a separation of concerns, separation of hosting. Of course, faster go lives and customized for your business. This could be used with any single session app. Like you take any unified interface app and you just do a single configuration, a single page configuration, providing URLs and providing some basic information. This will automatically work. But then we realized that, hey, with multiple channels coming into picture, you require multi-session capabilities. And we just introduced the multi-session capability, which we'll see. And we introduced the Channel Integration Framework version 2. So how it is beyond the next one? It allows you to integrate the third-party provider into our omni-channel for customer service experiences. So we have our omni-channel for customer service experiences, which provides some basic channels like you can take a case channel or entity routing channel. You can take live chat channel that is provided by Microsoft. You can take SMS, which is powered by Telesign. You can take our Facebook messaging channel. And then if you want telephony or any other channel that we do not provide, then you can go ahead and integrate it using this CIF v2. So this is the extensibility which makes the whole system complete, right? If you want a complete comprehensive omni-channel system, CIF v2 can help you. Of course, why it is helpful, it allows you to higher agent utilization. Like your agent can go ahead and whichever session is having some kind of lack of activity, let's say you have sent a message to the customer to look up a knowledge case, you can use that time to work on something else, right? Or you have some high priority channels like phone call, which requires immediate assistance. So you can take a chat and a phone call simultaneously. Of course, the lower AHT, like handling time, because you are working on multiple sessions at the same time, so your total amount of time spent only on a single session goes down because you are multitasking. You will have consistent channel analytics because with CIF v2, we are providing you a framework to bring it third-party channels as well and the analytics from those channels as well into the same system. And finally, reusable templates. So this whole CIF v2 is based on a construct of templates where you can go ahead and say, hey, how do I want to start sessions? And we'll just look at the demo very quickly to more kind of deep dive into this. Alpna? So at present, we are in this is the omni-channel for customer service story. This is multi-session and multi-tab. So this is the sessions at the left side. Sorry. You are seeing this is a case session. This is a chat session. This is actually this whole widget that you see from here to here is actually a CIF v2, which is hosting our first-party chat widget, right? So this is chat going on, and at the same time, let us try to embed a telephony provider inside the same experience. So we'll make a phone call to a number. What will happen? The phone call will go. The first thing that comes is a notification, which is there. This is coming in the first-party chat session is going on, but you are receiving a third-party notification in the same experience. You accept it, and what it will do is it will start a session here. So this session has been started, and automatically it has been linked with Maria Campbell. What it did in the background was there was an API call of create session, and that create session API went and looked up for that phone number inside that CRM database, and then opened that. This is the screen pop that is happening in a multi-session environment, and this is the widget that is coming up. Now inside the widget, this is a sample widget built using Twilio APIs. You can go ahead and any third-party provider can go ahead and build it, right? To go ahead and have that embedded experiences. They can start the sessions, they can open multiple tabs here as a part of their whole process. Here, let's say I take a call note here, and I do a simple button click a create case. This is what we call automation, powering the automation of macros inside this. What automatically happened is the contact was linked to the case. The title was taken from printer issues was taken from here, and the case number was assigned. The customer was automatically linked. The origin was phone automatic. So this is like lot of things have been passed from the context of the provider to the CRM, and this is the API set. This is what we call channel integration framework, because effectively this is something. This whole widget is something that is running inside Azure, right? This is not hosted inside CRM. This is hosted inside Azure, and this is transmitting knowledge and transmitting information via APIs which are known as CIF. Then what you can do is you can go ahead and also do a lookup inside Bing. It will take information from printer issues and it will pass it to Bing, a third-party widget. So this is a line of business application hosted inside Dynamics 365, which is contextually passing data. So what I was able to show you is you are able to take up a phone call. Actually, phone call is going on. You are able to pass contextual parameters from the phone widget into the CRM. You are able to see both the communication data here and the CRM data in the same window. You are able to communicate with third-party line of business applications as well, right? And once I go ahead and let us say I want to go ahead and hang this phone call, right? I can minimize this screen. I can minimize the widget itself. You see this in the minimize so that you can have the whole experience for you to work on the post-call wrap. You can again maximize it back. You can look at the activity. When you click it, it automatically opens in a new app tab. So there are APIs to open the things inside tab where you can go ahead and printer issues. I noticed that the direction is incorrect outgoing, so I can change it to incoming. I just deliberately kept it so that I can make the change here, save it, and it will work fine, right? So that's the idea, that you can go ahead and make further changes into the system. You can always switch from one session to another session. All these are available. So this is a very quick succinct demo of how this channel integration framework version 2 works and how it is different from the version 1. Version 1 did not have any construct of sessions. So the construct of sessions is available only inside this app, Omnichannel for Customer Service app. In using the CIF v2 APIs, you can open sessions. You can show notifications. At the top you saw the notification or the toast came. You can show notifications as well. Using CIF v2 API, there are APIs to show notification. You can manipulate tabs. All of them are done using templates. Yeah. So what we have something called a list of session templates. You see there are multiple session templates here. What is a session template? A session template is nothing but how do you want to start the session. So let us see this session template. I started this session template. I give this name, title, call from customer. As soon as the customer is identified, that is changed. Panel state is nothing but the communication panel that I had, whether it is docked or minimized or hidden. I can have an anchor tab, that the first tab, which is a contact record. But let's look at what is this contact record. So this is an application tab which takes this contact record and it takes the title from a OData query. So actually what I am doing is I am doing a search inside the CRM to populate this. It is just doing nothing but just filtering the information for mobile phone. And this is an example of application tab. You can have other application tabs. For example, Bing is another application tab which takes just URL. And in the parameter, it takes a slug value for search query, which is being passed at the runtime by the provider. So what you need to do is what you need to do is the CIF V2 is you create these templates, and from the provider you say that I want to start the session with a certain template name, and we go ahead and populate the values for that session in the runtime. Just switching back to the presentation because it's a pretty quick session. Just repeating this. What do we have in Channel Integration Framework V2? We have changes in the channel hosting, the session management, and the modes have come in. You saw me minimizing that to the bottom. That is the new mode, which is the minimized or the hidden mode. You have multiple providers for blended agents. You saw chat and also telephony happening in the same screen for agents which are blended and multiple working on multiple providers and multiple channels at the same time. And third-party channel analytics. Let's take a deep breath and talk about third-party channel analytics for a moment. Yeah. So what is the problem, right? The problem is this. Let's look at the CRM data and the communication provider data. And the customer service manager or whoever is working with the contact center analytics is looking for a like universal data. Like they want the analytics from all the sources. They want the analytics from customer service. They want the analytics from sales. They want the analytics from telephony systems that they are powering the whole contact center. They also need analytics from the agent behavior, like what was agent doing when something went wrong. Sorry. So there are disjoint databases. The communication data is with the providers, while the transactional data is with CRM. The agent behavioral data is not instrumented at all. Like I don't know how much time agent is spent in a particular session, how many times they switched, what happened. There is no standard way if any third-party provider, like they wish to come and provide data and have an integrated system, there is no standard mechanism for that integration. And finally, the protocol. If there are multiple data sets, how do you combine these data sets? So what will SIP V2 Analytics provide? It will generate the instrumentation for client-side events to capture the agent behavior. How it generates? It will automatically generate in form of event markers and will put it inside CDS. It will provide APIs, both client-side and server-side APIs for third-party providers to ingest data with us. And it will just back. It will also standardize the schema and entity models on how this analytical data is stored inside CDS. And it will define the mechanisms to correlate the communication data. For example, I was in a session, what was the agent behavior, what was the third-party behavior, what was the CRM transactional data behavior, everything will be correlated. My intent with this session was to give you a preview of what is happening, because this is a very, is the extensibility feature. It is targeted as the developer community and IT pro community. If you are looking for an integrated multi-channel, multi-provider experience, you should go ahead and inquire and join our previews. This is in public preview as I speak. You can go ahead and onto the Insider portal and join this. You will have information about how to go ahead and enable all these things. The CIF V2 ecosystem is pretty rich. This is the current set of providers who are in some like a good stage of integration. Most of the big names are here, right? And I want to express my gratitude to these providers and partners who have been really helpful in providing that succinct feedback, which we need to go ahead and make this a multi-provider system, because it requires isolation at the provider level. You have to ensure that data is not transmitted across boundaries. So all those things are taken care of. Happy to answer any questions on this. That's all from my session.
To repeat the question.
Go to logo.
So you had a bunch. You had the. You do have a mic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so you had a demo on there where you were using Twilio APIs to embed the softphone in there, right? Is there a component that does the same thing for a Teams call?
So interesting question. So at present, if you see in the, you saw the chat.
Right.
The chat is actually powered by the Teams underlying substrate only.
Okay.
Okay. For the phone call, at present we do not have any Teams kind of equivalent for what Twilio has. Right? We do not have that public APIs for that.
Okay.
So
Is there a private API that does that?
at present, no. No, we do not have any first-party telephony offering on that front. Fair question, but our telephony story at present is totally run by third-party partners.
Sure. I'm from Genesis. So thank you.
Hi, Deepak.
Quick question is that besides voice, through this, could we bring other channels to bear on Dynamics 365 platform also?
In V1, yes. In the version 1, the single session applications, yes, you can go and bring it anything that you want. In version 2, because it is integrated with our omni-channel experiences, this space is reserved for telephony, which is a gap which we want partners to go ahead and address.
So you're just allowing telephony as a channel to
At
come
present,
in.
telephony, and we can look at other channels which we are not providing, which we are not playing in that space.
So the routing for telephony can be done separately, or
Yes.
the routing of the rest of the channels will be managed by Dynamics?
No, great question. So the CIF V2 CIF at present is a predominantly client layer extensibility. So all of the things that you were seeing here or in that, you can switch to Maria Campbell as well for that case, right? So this widget, this is the only place where the interaction is happening between Dynamics and all the routing that is happening on, let's say, Genesis side, that is happening on Genesis side. We are looking to provide some kind of federation between the two routing systems, some kind of conjoinment, so that we can go ahead and build more integrated experiences. But it is not like you can only use this routing or you can use only that routing. It's like coexistence of both is what we are looking at. Any other questions, guys?
Hi, are you working on a live person integration for chat?
In the CIF V1, so actually, this is more of a question in this other way. Is live person working on that? So we have provided the framework. We have provided the framework for CIF V1, and they can. But if you could see in the deck that I had, CafeX supports the CIF V1. Right? So CafeX has that capability in CIF V1. In CIF V2, we have our own chat as a channel, right? Live chat as a channel. So that space is kind of addressed by us. Does that answer your question?
It does and doesn't. Essentially, you're asking us to do the work. So, I
So
get
let us, it's a framework. Developers have to, at the end of the day, do the work. But yeah, but we can take that offline, sure.
Is this a Power Apps, and how do I integrate like native Dynamics 365, like the new UCI forms and stuff into it, or can I not? Like if
So this is not a Power App.
it's not.
This is Dynamics 365. No, that's a okay. I'm sorry if I did not clarify that. This experience that you see is the latest omni-channel for customer service experience. The traditional Dynamics 365 experience or unified interface experience or model-driven app experience was a single session experience. You did not have this on the left. You did not have the tabs on the right. You had a standard site map and a single page navigation. That has changed with omni-channel customer service. You can have multi-session, multi-tab experience inside unified interface. So you can go ahead and do that. Now coming to your question, can I embed Power Apps inside that? Yes, all these forms are the same forms. You can embed Power Apps inside that form or PCF controls inside those forms, of course. That was always possible. Whether SIF can be embedded in Power Apps, that's a separate discussions which we have in the next versions. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Cool. Thank you so much for joining me for the theater session. I'll be there at the booth. You can talk to me for any further clarifications. Thanks, Alpana.
Thank you.